I'm here in the kitchen with two-time Guinness World Records title holder, the six-pack chef, TikTok sensation, master of chopping, Wallace Wong. Welcome!
Thank you for having me. It's unreal to be here.
Later on, Wallace will be creating a very special world record dish for us. But first, now you're going to be doing a lot of chopping records today. But you know you can't do that without a Guinness World Records adjudicator.
Wallace, this is the most slices of celery sliced in 30 seconds. Each slice must be a complete U-shape, and any slices that aren't a complete U-shape will be disqualified from the attempt. You ready?
All right, let's do this.
This is an official Guinness World Records attempt. In 3, 2, 1, go. "20 seconds to go. "10 seconds to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stop."
Juliet, now what was the minimum Wallace had to beat there?
So the minimum to achieve the record was 110 slices.
110, now that sounds huge to me. That sounds like a lot of celery chopped.
It is.
It looked like you were going very quickly. Do you think you've done all right?
I feel like I did, but you never know until it's official.
Any particular challenges with cutting celery or this particular record attempt?
Funny enough, this is like the first one where like I'm watching it. Usually I do it blindfold, so it was very interesting.
Do you find it easier chopping with a blindfold on or without one?
I do.
Yeah?
I actually find it easier with the blindfold on.
Why do you think that is?
I take away a sense and then everything else heightens.
Wow, you're like a Jedi. Now, of course, serious business. Can we have an official announcement?
The minimum to achieve the record was 110 slices. I had to discount a few because they weren't full U-shapes. But after 30 seconds, I can confirm that you achieved 128 slices. That's a new Guinness World Records title. Come on. Congratulations, Wallace. You're officially amazing.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Oh, this is it.
Now, Wallace, you absolutely smashed that. I've got an idea. Let's make it a little bit more difficult for you. You did say that you usually do this with a blindfolder. So how about I give you that?
Okay.
You give me that. We do another record.
Oh, you took that from me. Now I gotta get another one. Okay, let's do it.
Wallace, you're going to be attempting the most slices of celery sliced whilst blindfolded in 30 seconds. This is an official Guinness World Records attempt. In 3, 2, 1, go. "20 seconds to go. "10 seconds to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stop."
Wallace, that was incredible to watch. A bit nervous watching that, I must admit. How do you think it went?
It was intense. I was not gonna lie, it felt more intense after the first one. But yeah, it feels good. It feels good, so only one way to find out.
Absolutely. Juliet, what was the minimum and how did he do?
So the minimum was 90 slices. I only had to discount 2 slices, so that was very fast, very accurate slicing going on. The total that you achieved today, Wallace, is 125 slices. So that's a new Guinness World Records title.
Ah!
Congratulations.
Thank you. It feels pretty crazy after getting that first one without a blindfold and then basically almost kind of beating it, if you will.
Great stuff, Wallace. Unbelievable. 2 from 2.
2 for 2.
Should we keep going?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Now, Wallace, we've seen you do it with celeries, but I want to see you do it something that's every day.
Okay.
Something we all use. How about garlic?
I love garlic, so let's do it.
So, Wallace, you're going to be attempting the most slices of garlic sliced in 30 seconds. The garlic used must be fresh and it can't be modified in any way other than removing the skins.
Roger that.
Are you ready?
Let's do it.
In 3, 2, 1, go. 20 seconds to go. Ten seconds to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop.
Well, it smells incredible, but how do you think it went?
I mean, garlic is one of my favorite ingredients, and I love cutting it thin because it like just starts the pan really, really fast. So I'm excited to hopefully set a record with this.
Nice. Now, Juliet, how did he do?
Well, the minimum to achieve the record for the most slices of garlic sliced in 30 seconds is 90 slices. Today, Wallace, you achieved 117 slices.
Here we go for the garlic lovers. Thank you.
Officially amazing.
Ah,
How does it feel? You've made the garlic lovers proud.
I know, it feels amazing. One of my favorite ingredients. It's pretty crazy to see that amount of slices of something so small.
Absolutely. Congratulations.
Thank
Another
you.
one. You mentioned it was very small. So how about we up the stakes a little bit?
Okay.
Let's go again.
All right, let's do it. Let's go. Challenge accepted.
Wallace, you're going to be attempting the most slices of garlic sliced in 30 seconds whilst blindfolded. 3, 2, 1, go. "20 seconds to go. Four, 3, 2, 1, go. So, Wallace, the minimum to achieve this record was 70 slices of garlic. And I have to say, this was an absolutely exceptional attempt because you achieved 127 slices of garlic. Congratulations, you're officially amazing.
Thank you.
Wallace, you've done it again. Wallace has absolutely smashed the minimum there, but by how many?
By 57 slices.
57.
Okay, let's go.
Nice. I mean, we're going to have to make more food now.
Absolutely. Cooking's on me. It's on me.
Now, Wallace, something a little bit different now. What is this?
So obviously we've got a bell pepper here.
Okay. Obviously. Obviously, this is a bell pepper.
Like, you've never seen one of these?
No. I'm clueless. I have a nightmare with these when I'm cutting them. What's your technique? How are we attacking this?
So for me, I've sort of learned a technique of kind of making most minimal waste and going through the pepper pretty fast, and hopefully it's good enough for a Guinness World Record.
Now, Juliet, what Guinness World Records title will Wallace be attempting?
Wallace is going to attempt the fastest time to slice a bell pepper. And there are a few important rules that you need to be aware of. First of all, once I give you the start signal, you need to chop the top and the bottom of the pepper off and remove the core. Then you can start slicing. Okay. You need to slice a minimum of 10 strips of similar size. And once you've finished slicing the pepper, give me a signal and I will stop the stopwatch.
Got it. Okay.
Please be nice. Please be a good pepper.
This is an official Guinness World Records attempt. In 3, 2, 1, go.
Stop.
Now, that was quick. Was it a kind pepper?
It was. There was like nothing in the middle, like no crazy surprise, not a lot of seeds. It was a good pepper.
Right, so we've got a good feeling about this.
Fingers crossed, fingers crossed.
Only one person who can tell us. Juliet.
So, Wallace, the minimum time to achieve the record is 10 seconds. Now, you did actually cut the pepper in under 10 seconds. However, some of the slices are not fully cut through. And unfortunately, there are only 7 slices of a minimum of 10 that I was able to count as valid slices. So, unfortunately, it's not a Guinness World Record title today, but a valiant attempt.
Got it.
Wallace, the hope's not over there though, is it? Surely we've got to have another go at this. Is that all right, Juliet?
Yes, I think we can go for it again.
Do you want another go?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, let's do it.
Okay, let's do it.
Now, it wasn't to be this time. That's all right. How are we going to do it slightly differently next time?
Just a little more focused. It was so close, so close. And that's the difference between, Guinness World Records. It's like that.
got it this time, Wallace.
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
This is an official Guinness World Records attempt. In 3, 2, 1, go. Stop. Wallace, in order for this to be a valid attempt, you needed to slice a minimum of 10 strips of pepper. You sliced 15 strips, so this is a valid attempt. In order for it to be a new Guinness World Records title, you needed to do it in a minimum of 10 seconds. Wallace, you achieved 9.43 seconds, and it's a new Guinness World Records title. Congratulations, you're officially amazing.
Thank you. Ooh,
Yes, you did it. Is that the most tense you've ever been?
this one definitely is. It's just coming off of obviously the first failed attempt, knowing that I could do it, having to do it this, and it's like, you know, I got more slices, but then the time was like, did I make the other part of it? So we're good. We're good.
Your technique works.
We're good. Exactly.
But Wallace, that's not enough. We know how good you are. Can I set you a challenge?
Okay.
Let's do it with a blindfold.
This one's gonna be crazy. All right, let's give it a shot. Let's do it.
You're just about to attempt the fastest time to slice a bell pepper blindfolded. In 3, 2, 1, go.
Stop.
So in order for this to be a valid attempt, you needed to slice a minimum of 10 strips. You did 11 strips.
Okay.
And in order for it to be a new Guinness World Records title, you needed to do it in under 15 seconds. Wallace, today you achieved 10.78 seconds, and it's a new Guinness World Records title. Congratulations, you're officially amazing.
This one is extra, like just the variables going on. There's a lot of things that could have gone extra wrong on this one.
Yes.
So
Super challenging, but you did it. Is there anything you can't do with a blindfold on, Wallace?
I don't know. One way to find out.
So what have we got here? Tomatoes.
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 Let's call the whole thing off. What are we going to do with these ones?
I think we've got a record to try to break.
Right, and what is that record, Julian?
The record is the most tomatoes cut in 1 minute.
Any specific way he has to cut it?
Yes, he can only cut one tomato at a time, and it needs to be cut into 8 pieces of similar size.
Okay.
Happy with that technique?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
Best of luck, Wallace.
Thank you.
This is an official Guinness World Records attempt. In 3, 2, 1, go. So there's 50 seconds. 40 seconds. 30 seconds. 20 seconds. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stop.
Wallace, look at this mess.
Crazy.
How do you think it went?
I didn't expect that I would go through all of them, and then like so many mental things about like, do I have time to get another one? What happens if I just end it? And yeah, I actually just don't know.
But it has to be a good sign, doesn't it? If we run out of tomatoes.
It does hope, and then it's just about qualifying. That's on Julia to see if they all qualify.
Juliet.
So the record that you had to beat today was 11 tomatoes. And I did have to discount 3 tomatoes that were of unequal sizes. So after we've discounted those 3, I can tell you that you chopped 14 tomatoes.
Okay.
There's another one. Well done. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're officially amazing.
Yes.
So Wallace, it was a messy one, but how does it feel?
They're just getting harder, even harder and harder, and it's just crazy because, like I said, this one threw a curveball, and I had to like pivot right at the last minute to figure it out. And if I didn't grab those 2, that might have been not how they holded this one.
Incredible, thinking on your feet. Fantastic. Now, Wallace, you won't see this coming, but I'm going to make it harder for you. Let's do it with a blindfold.
Okay, that was close, so let's make this happen.
This is an official Guinness World Records attempt. In 3, 2, 1, go. Seconds. 40 seconds. 30 seconds. 20 seconds. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, stop.
Wallace, when I left, I gave you a blindfold and there were a table full of tomatoes. Where are they gone?
They've been cut, which is kind of crazy. I didn't expect that either.
Right, and what minimum were we looking for here?
We were looking for a minimum of 6 tomatoes.
So are we feeling confident?
In terms of quantity, yes. Quality is going to be the deciding factor.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. As you can see, you cut way more than 6 tomatoes today. I did have to disqualify 4 being of uneven pieces. And the total that you managed today was 9 tomatoes, which is a new Guinness World Records title. Congratulations, you're officially amazing.
These ones always get hard because it's like there's so much going on the cutting board that you have to like navigate while with the blindfold. These are extra special. Extra special.
We're gonna have to start making it harder for you. The blindfold's too easy. Well done, Wallace.
Thank you.
Time for an iconic record attempt.
Okay.
Now, some famous chefs have held it before. Jamie Oliver's one of them, but we all know the good chefs are on TikTok, isn't that right?
Hey, I'm on it, so I'll take it. I'll take it from you, given to me.
Absolutely. Things are about to get spicy. Let them know the guidelines, Juliet.
So yes, the guidelines for this record are that each chili used must be at least 10 grams in weight. I've weighed these and I can confirm that they are all more than 10 grams. You can chop the chilies in batches, so that's up to you how many and what technique you use. However, if any chopped piece of chili exceeds 5 millimeters, I will need to discount that from the attempt.
Okay.
Okay?
Got it.
Good.
Best of luck, Wallace. I'm gonna go and drink some milk.
All right.
This is an official Guinness World Records attempt. In 3, 2, 1, go. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, stop.
Those chilies did not stand a chance, did they?
They couldn't stand the heat.
No, exactly.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Now, tell us, Juliet, has Wallace got this iconic record title?
Well, the record to beat was 11 chilies. As you can see, I've had to disqualify a few here which weren't chopped properly. In total, I disqualified 5 chilies, which left the total at 13 chilies. Oh. So still a new Guinness World Records title.
Oh, that scares the hell out of me.
Congratulations, Wallace, you're officially amazing.
That scared me. It was hard. It was very hard because it's like they kept on moving as you're going, but it's good. Happy we got this one.
Finally proof the best chefs are on TikTok. There he is. Wallace, you've broken 9 Guinness World Records titles today. But I tell you one thing, we hate food wastage here at Guinness World Records.
Agreed.
So what we're going to do is we're going to make something fantastic out of it, aren't we?
We absolutely are. We're going to take all those vegetables and we're going to make something that's officially amazing.
Oh, Wallace, branding.
You are welcome. You're welcome.
Oh, wow. So we've got all these fantastic ingredients, but what exactly are we making?
So we're going to be making a world record vegetable noodle dish.
Sounds fantastic. So where do we start?
All right, so obviously you can't have a noodle dish without some noodles.
Okay.
Now, with this dish, we're gonna use our ingredients as much as we can. So we're actually gonna make our noodles out of a cucumber as well as our carrot.
Right, now carrots and cucumbers, they're ringing a bell for a reason.
Yes.
Why is that?
So my first Guinness World Record that I ever got was with a cucumber. And then my second one was a carrot. So we're gonna tie these guys in and we're gonna bring them into the family.
Nice, so how do we prep them?
Yeah, so the first thing we're gonna do is I'm just gonna simply peel the carrot and the cucumber. We'll need about half a cucumber.
So what got you into cooking, Wallace? What was the start?
I mean, I got into cooking purely because of family. So I am a first generation Canadian Chinese. My family's from Hong Kong, and food was a very big part and still is a very big part of our lives. I never wanted to be a chef. I just was really, really good at it because I helped.
Who's a particular inspiration for that then? Was it did you say grandparent?
I think my grandparents for sure. Also, majority of my family actually cooked in restaurants because we were sponsored to Canada by a restaurant. So they all, whether they liked it or not, had to work in a restaurant in some manner or form. Unlike the carrots peels, we're gonna keep the cucumber ones for later. So now we're gonna do, if you can pass me the mandolin.
Yeah.
So this is basically a knife on a board.
Okay.
It makes it very easy to cut things. So I'm simply gonna take that and we're gonna cut really, really thin little strips out of that.
Making it look very easy.
Can you help me just sort of put these into a layer together? So put them back together while I cut the rest of them.
So you broke 9 Guinness World Record titles today.
Crazy.
It's incredible, and it was amazing to watch. But any of them particularly stand out in your mind as the hardest?
The hardest ones has to be, I think, the bell pepper. The bell pepper one and the tomato one. Specifically when they're blindfolded.
Go.
Because the variables of when you cut the tops or the bottoms, or even the middle, you can't control how they fly or how they like roll out. So because of that, it makes it extra hard to then make sure you don't get disqualified from some of those cuts, which luckily by cutting a couple more and being a little more careful, I was able to do what we did today.
And when you're at home in your own kitchen, are you just preparing food all the time with a blindfold on, or is that?
No, absolutely not. That's just simply one where it started because of social media. When I was teaching people how to cut, people were like, oh, can you cut faster? Or, you know, can you do this and do that? And I started doing it, and then people started going, oh, but he's watching. He's like looking over there. There's a mirror on the wall. And as someone who's competitive, I'm like, let me show you. So I put on a blindfold, and then that's sort of how everything happened. So quickly we did that with the cucumber. We're gonna do the same thing with the carrot.
Almost see-through then, aren't they?
Essentially. We want them pretty thin so that when we're cutting them, they do reflect and turn into noodles.
Okay.
How are you with the knife?
Well, are we about to find out?
Okay, so we'll start first with the cucumber. So I'll give you a knife there. Start with like 2 or 3, something not too crazy. And then what you're gonna do is you're just gonna basically go along and you're gonna cut really, really thin strips. And then what you end up having are these noodles that you'll have like that.
They look great. They look great.
Yeah.
Well, I can see the vision.
You can see.
Okay, any tips for holding the knife?
Yes, of course. So I always say, when you hold the knife, it wants to feel like an extension of your hand.
Okay.
So instead of like death gripping it,
Yeah.
I like to just sort of pinch it, press behind the blade, and then just wrap your hands around it. Perfect. Now on your other hand, I call it the claw technique. So purely when you do this, the knuckle, you put it against your blade, and then you have this little spot between the blade and your fingertips that keeps it safe. That is actually what allows me to do what I did today. It gives me the confidence to know that I'm safe and secure. My fingers are so I can cut. Yeah, so we'll go this one.
Yep.
So what you're gonna do is, you're simply gonna start from the top, and then you're gonna drag your knife all the way back. Nice. And you're just gonna do that throughout the whole thing. But this is a really great way to use vegetables. We're trying to have less waste, so we're using it this way. Nice.
Look at that.
Look at that. Let's separate those and see. Great.
Take before you were quick at this.
Funny enough, I think I was pretty quick right off the bat a little bit. I was taught technique first. When I teach people how to cut or when I teach people how to cook is, as long as you know the technique first, speed is much more easier to gain. From me just helping cooking at home at such a young age, that caused me to learn how to cut really fast, pretty quickly and instinctively. It wasn't like I'm trying to. It was simply more of like, I had a big family, we're trying to make dinner, we're trying to make lunch. Hurry up. Hurry up, but don't cut yourself. So that was it. All right, so we'll put your carrots and cucumbers into this bowl. So we'll throw those in. Throw those in there. Okay, so I'm gonna get you to actually give me a little bit of salt and just do a nice sprinkle of salt in here. A good like Salt Bay if you want. There we go. And then give me one more of those.
One more of those.
Perfect. So what we're simply gonna do is that we're just gonna mix this up.
Cool. And they're your noodles.
They're your noodles, and they're gorgeous. The color's great. So we'll put that aside.
So nice, clean, safe cutting space.
Yes.
You're always cleaning as you go.
Yes, absolutely. When I've worked in restaurants and even some of the higher end restaurants, this is probably like real estate that I've had. So I've learned to keep things really, really tight and clean.
So this is absolutely luxury.
I expect nothing less.
Of course. So next step, where are we going?
All right, so after noodles, we definitely need either some sauce or some sort of broth or soup. So for us, we're gonna make a broth because it is getting into summer. We want something that's refreshing and light. So we're gonna actually start making a roasted bell pepper and tomato broth. So again, our bell peppers, and I've just simply put them on top of the grill and then just literally let that turn black. It's okay, it's not, don't be scared. That's just gonna give us a lot of flavor. You just are able to peel it. It's gonna have that smoky flavor without any of that actual char. So as you can see, you can just sort of peel that right off like that.
You're definitely a pro at putting these gloves on. I'm going to be here a bit longer, I think.
It's okay, it's okay.
As a child, would you say that you were this super healthy chef that we see now in front of us?
No, absolutely not. Funny enough, I was actually a fat kid growing up. Like clinically obese. My family took me to a dietitian every weekend, had to go on our diets and stuff. Never really like worked out per se, but what ended up happening was I simply just fell in love with the sport of basketball. For sport of basketball, got into like sort of elementary, high school, wanted girls to start liking me and all that kind of stuff. So I started getting into fitness that way.
Okay, then. That is, I reckon, as good as it's going to get. It comes off easily, doesn't it?
Very satisfying.
Yeah.
Okay, so when I was making this recipe, I wanted to do something that's fast as well. It's a world record noodle dish, so it's all about speed. We're simply just gonna puree things, and that's gonna turn into our sauce. So I'm gonna actually grab a couple of our tomatoes. This is gonna be sort of our base for it. It's gonna be the liquid within our sauce. So I'm just gonna throw a couple in here. And then while you still have the gloves on, just simply rip off the top and take away the seeds for me. Perfect, that looks good. You can throw that in here. Do that with one more. Okay, so while you're doing that, I'm just gonna then add a little bit of seasoning, a little bit of soy sauce.
So health kind of became easy for you growing up, would you say?
No, absolutely not. It was really, really tough. Just like we all enjoyed eating, and also especially like with families, with my background, it's like if you're too skinny, that means it's not good, right? If you're too fat, it's not good. It was never a thing. It was one where I found fitness, and it helped me sort of become the person that I am in terms of finding a goal, learning how to like, dedicate myself. So soy sauce in there real quick. And then I've got here is some miso powder. and then as well as mushroom powder. That's our sort of seasoning here. That is perfect. Okay, well next we're gonna need is a lemon and a lime.
Yeah.
Perfect. Awesome. I'll get you to actually take the lemon and just simply give it a nice roll.
Sure. Okay.
We're gonna roll it out, and what this does is it's gonna make it easier to juice. So once you've rolled it out, simply just take it, cut it in half for me. Nice form. I saw the claw and everything. It was right. Perfect. All right. So then we're just gonna squeeze both of these right into the blender. So this is actually gonna add a lot of acidity and brightness to this dish.
And what does that do?
For me, I'm a chef that I think we always say salt and acidity. Those are the two things that really like change a dish and turn it from good to great. And then now we simply just gotta put it into our blender. And we're gonna blend it up so that it becomes almost into a puree. All right, okay, so now it's pureed, we're gonna strain it. If you can grab me the bowl as well as the strainer. One more thing, I'm smelling it, I want something a little more savory. Can you throw me one garlic clove?
Yes.
Plop that into there for me. We'll do a quick blend. And that's what's great about this sauce. Like you can keep on adding some vegetables if you wanted to build up the flavor. Okay.
So Wallace, you're the six-pack chef.
Yes.
Talk me through that. I'd love a nickname like that. I don't have a nickname like that. Why do they call you that?
Yeah, so what happened was when I was in the restaurant, when I was working in restaurants, I actually started obviously going to the gym, but then I found myself competing. So I was actually a former national level bodybuilder for Canada, 3rd in Canada, 5th in North America, and all of this was while I was working in restaurants. And I have a business degree. My chef guys would be like, oh, you know, muscle chef, flexing chef. And then I have my gym friends that'd be like, oh, you know, flexing cook and like, you know, exercise chef. And I'm like, all these are not gonna do. So then I'm like, you know what? Six-pack chef. You can do the physical side of what six-pack is, but then you can also have six-pack of beer, six-pack of donuts. So that's sort of where it comes from.
Yeah, nice.
Essentially, we're gonna take this, we're gonna let this strain. I'm actually gonna just throw this into the fridge, and naturally we'll let it strain, and that will become our sauce, and we'll like season that after. All right, so noodles are done.
Yep.
Our broth is done.
Yep.
Now let's get into some of the little garnishes and things that are just gonna help
Nice.
elevate this dish. We had to cut celery for 2 hour records, so we're gonna make pickled celery. So I've already got some here that we've pre-pickled, but let me explain to you sort of how we did it. Pickling is very easy. Do you like pickles?
Yeah, I love pickles.
Oh,
Yeah.
Pickles are incredible, and they bring so much acidity and brightness. If you can hand me just that bottle of rice wine vinegar, and then sugar right there, and pretty much one more was soy sauce. So all I simply did was I put vinegar into a pot, added some sugar until it started tasting balanced and sweet, and then seasoned with soy sauce, let it marinate overnight, and then you have this. Once they're fresh like this, then they get pickled. They still have to retain their shape, but they get this really, really nice texture, and the color is very different. And you can see the pickle is also very nice and sort of sweet because of the sugar. So there we go.
You're, in my eyes and the world's eyes now, a celebrity chef. What is it like on social media as a man who prepares food?
I think it's pretty cool. For now, to me, to sort of be seen as a celebrity chef is very, very humbling. It's always grateful. To add on now Guinness World Record holder just adds to the sort of the resume.
Do you think there's any tips for anyone out there who's maybe a budding chef, maybe sees you on TikTok and thinks, you know what, I want to be just like Wallace?
On social media is simply just press record. If you don't do that, no, you can't get your chance. I'm a big proponent of shoot or shoot and like just take your chance. What's the worst that can happen? Start by recording your meals, posting those, and just sharing and just finding your story about why. So for me, it's, yes, I've got my Michelin training, I've been on a couple of shows, but also it's like now I've created a niche of, hey, I am the knife guy. I'm the guy who can teach you how to use a knife properly, teach you how to use proper technique, and also get to a point where you can get as good as getting Guinness World Records. Yeah, okay.
What's next?
So we're gonna do some garlic. One of the records that we did was garlic. I love garlic, like I mentioned, so it's one of my favorite ingredients. So I also love garlic when it's crispy and fried. It gets nice and sweet. So I made some fried garlic, and it's really, really easy to do. So simply what I did was I took some oil And then I just simply took our garlic that we did a record with, and then we threw that into the oil and just bring it to a simmer until they're nice and crispy, and you just strain it, and then that's what you got. So give it a shot. And because how thin they're cut, they cook really, really fast, and they're literally like chips.
I can tell you now, this is the first time I've ever eaten a world record. It's delicious.
I love that. Once you've removed the garlic, you keep the oil. Why? Because when it's hot, what I then did was I actually turned it into a chili garlic oil. So all I did was then take that oil from the fried garlic, threw in some chilies in there, and then let it steep, and that's exactly what we have. The only things I also did was some of those extra tomatoes that we had, just fine diced them, called it a concasse.
What was that again, sorry?
Concasse.
Concasse.
Concasse. It's fancy things for diced tomatoes. Tomatoes, by the way.
Tomates, as we say.
Tomates.
When we're concasse.
Concasse.
Yeah.
So we have that. And then remember I told you about our cucumber peels?
Yes.
These actually have such great texture and color. And I simply, if you have good enough knife skills, you can turn them into sort of cucumber confetti. We don't want to waste food. So we're even taking the peels and we're doing something. So that's exactly what we have here.
And what was that? Cucumber confetti?
I call it cucumber confetti
I like
because
that.
it just looks good.
Yeah, and you can use it at weddings and other...
Absolutely,
Yeah.
bar mitzvahs and things like that. Okay, 1, 2, and then lastly, a lot of people don't know about this and they kind of throw this out, but in celery, the middle part, the middle stalks, the celery leaves are extremely delicate. They look gorgeous and they're great for garnishes. So we actually just simply pick them. Give it a shot first.
Yeah,
man.
absolutely.
Give it a shot.
I'll try it.
So it's not as strong as the stalk, but it still has that flavor and it looks great.
It really does taste very strong.
That's there?
Yep.
We're gonna then start assembling our noodle dish. Sprinkle a little bit of our cucumber confetti in there for me.
Yeah.
Yep, go ahead. And what we're gonna do is we're just trying to get a lot of color and texture into here.
Yeah.
Right, immediately. It looks
great.
It looks
It's
great. Perfect, give that a mix. Amazing. I like to build layers and textures, and I like to sometimes hide things. So on the bottom, we're gonna actually just make a little bed of our tomatoes. If I was to mix this into the noodles, it would have kind of got lost. I use chopsticks, but you can use a fork, you can use tongs, and what you're gonna do is just simply kind of get it into a nice little ball, and then we're gonna just put that right on top. And you want some height.
Yeah.
So we're gonna then garnish together. So we've got our pickled celery, we've got our garlic chips, stick them in between any of the crevices that you see. And this way that when people are eating it, you can mix it around and you'll get these little bites.
This looks incredible.
Absolutely. I always like to say it's like food is a way to communicate. It's a way to communicate with people. And for me as a chef, it's my language, it's my vocabulary. Being able to do it with knife skills just means that I have a different way to talk now. Now, next thing, our celery leaves. We're just gonna put those on. Perfect, this looks great. Nice work, chef. All right, and then the next thing we gotta do is our sauce. Okay, so our broth, it looks flavorful. You see the specks from the roasted red peppers, the tomato there, the really, really nice dark color. You can smell that.
Wow.
It smells like summer. The grill is there. So instead of mixing it all together, what we're gonna do, and we're simply just gonna pour it right around. So, and we're just gonna fill it to the top. And then lastly is our chili oil. Now, because when you have the sauce on top, adding just a little oil, it'll actually just do these little nice little droplets right on the top. And
You really are an artist, aren't you?
I try. I mean, this is a world record dish, right?
Got to make it special in Guinness World Records HQ as well.
Exactly. A little more of that confetti on the top. And then there you have it, a world record vegetable noodle dish.
Wow. Looks incredible.
All right, let's do this.
Boy, 9 world records is very impressive. But that is up there. That is incredible.
I love it. It's like refreshing, it's bright. I like the fact that it's like we used every single ingredient that we did today.
Do you know what a real test is though? I know how stern adjudicators can be. So
Yes.
a real challenge is making one smile and making one happy. Have we made one happy?
You have made an adjudicator very, very happy today. Thank you, Wallace.
That's the best record. Thank you for having me and for letting me also cook for you guys.
Great, well, thanks for coming down, breaking so many records, blown away by how incredible you've been all day. And if you want to check Wallace out, have a look at his socials, he's incredible.